Welcome to my channel Pharma Companion. Today we'll discuss the topic Institutional Review Board, which comes under the subject Drug Regulatory Affairs. So, what is Institutional Review Board? Under FDA regulation, IRB is a group that has been formed to review and monitor biomedical research that involves human subjects. IRB has the authority to provide, approve, require modifications in or disapprove research. That means that IRB can whether approve or disapprove any type of biomedical research that are being carried out in human subjects. IRB reviews the appropriateness of a clinical trial protocols as well as the risks and benefits to study participants. And also this group review serves an important role in the protection of rights and welfare of human subject research. An example of this type of IRB, IRB is WCGIRB.com, which is a platform or a website that allows the IRB review by forming an application to the IRB, and it describes the clinical trial protocols which are being requested in any type of IRB application. So let us discuss the process of IRB. First of all, the applicant or the candidate or a company that is applying to the IRB for the review of their submission, they have to submit the IRB application. So IRB application is first pre-reviewed with the IRB specialist. There are certain type of specialists which we'll discuss later, that consist of quorum and all things, which we'll discuss later. They review this IRB submission application. Then if any type of document or any type of data is missing, then the clarification may be requested from the author or from the client. Then the IRB formal reviews or expedited or full reviews. The review of the IRB is carried out by checking any type of error, any type of complaint, any type of miscontent that is found in the IRB application. So if they are found, if any error is found, then the clarification are requested from the owner or from the company or applicant. Then the IRB post reviews with IRB specialist, and if there is any type of data missing or needed or required to be added, then the clarification may be requested from the client or applicant. Then when whole amount of data is collected from the IRB specialist approves the IRB application and the review is completed. So now this is also the process. First of all, the applicant or the company or the drug owner decides on the research topic in which he is doing biomedical research. So first of all, he have to study the complete human subject education, whether to determine the safety of the drug in the human subjects, whether it will work or not, and determine the category of review. That means exempt, expedited, or full review. Exempt review is carried out so that there are no errors in any type of IRB application. Second, expedited type of review means the full review, which contains the full amount of data, nothing is missing. And the full review in the last full review type of category, the IRB process reviews the whole amount of data that is submitted to the IRB. So when complete IRB application is done, it is submitted to the IRB owner. Now after the submission of the IRB application and the documents required for review, the first of all IRB committee exempt reviews it, which takes approximately 1 week. If there is any need of correction, it is returned to the applicant. And second step, expedited review, which takes at least 3 weeks. And if again there is any type of correction required, then the applicant is informed. And third, full review, which takes approximately 6 weeks. And if any correction is required, the application the applicant is again informed. And if the full review is approved, then it is approved and the research is also approved, and it is performed as described by the IRB, and no change will be occur without informing IRB when the application is done. So now what is IRB application and what are its contents, we'll discuss. The IRB application consists of 7 parts. First is the application, which is a document written by the investigator that is an official account of the planned project. That means the whole biomedical research or any type of research protocol that is to be done by the applicant, it is filled in the application. And it also consists of supporting docs which contain first consent documents. That means that any type of patient or human subjects that are involved in the IRB process or that are involved in the clinical trials, human clinical trials, their consent form is taken. Second, recruiting documents, which example are advertisement posters, flyers, scripts, emails, social media posts, and letters. These are the type of recruitment documents which are required in the supporting documents. C is study instruments. Study instruments are the any type of instruments which are used in the clinical trials for the research study. It includes example surveys, interview guides, tests, photographs, etc. D is if applicable, the permission letter is required from different type of committees like MOU letters of support and other insurance of collaboration. And E is grant proposal if applicable. That means that if any candidate or person or company is doing any biomedical research, then if he's getting or it's getting any type of grant from any other company or any research committee, then it is to be applied and added in the documents, supporting documents. F is evidences of the human subject protection training, which is required for all principal investigators. Now, what does the IRB constitute? Means who are its members and what are the qualifications of the member? It consists at least 7 members who collectively have the qualifications to review and evaluate scientific medical aspects and ethics of the proposed trial. The first one is the chairperson, which is appointed outside the institution of IRB so that nothing biased will occur. Second is basic medical scientist, which may have the knowledge of medicines. Third is clinicians from various institutes. Fourth one is one legal expert or retired judge, which may explain the law and terms of jurisprudence to the committee. Fifth one is one social scientist, which may evaluate the social effects of the drugs and the clinical trials that are to be uh, processed on. Sixth is one philosopher or ethicist, so that any type of data inserted in the IRB application could be reviewed with the knowledge of letters and words that a philosopher may know. One lay person from the community who is generally a person or a human subject that is uh, involved in the constitution of IRB, so that he could give any type of beneficial society advice which may have effect on the clinical trials. And the eighth member is member secretary appointed. Now, quorum of IRB. What is the quorum? Uh, Earlier we learned about the constitution, and then what is the quorum? Quorum means a small type of group or committee that comes under the constitution. Constitution has mainly 8 or more than 8 members, but the quorum has some limited amount of 5 or 6 members that that judges or that reviews a specific type of biomedical research or human clinical trials. So constitution of quorum includes 5 members. First one is basic medical scientist, same as that. Second is clinicians. Third is legal expert. Fourth is social scientist or representative of non-government voluntary agencies, or philosophers, or ethicist, or a theologian. Fifth one is the layperson from the community, same as before. Now, what are the functions of the institutional review board? Only those IRB members who are independent of the clinical trials and the sponsor of the trials should vote or provide opinion in matters related to the study. Only members who participate in the IRB or IEC, which uh, which is Institutional Ethical Committee review and discussion, should vote or provide their opinion or advice. The IRB should perform its function according to the SOP standard operating procedure and follow GCP guidelines and regulatory requirements. The investigator should provide the information on any aspect of the trial but should not participate in the deliberations of the IRB or in vote or opinion of IRB, which means the A person who is wanting to give an IRB application, he should not provide any information after the IRB has reviewed the application. By informing the IRB, it can provide or add any type of information, but without informing and without the consent of IRB, none investigation, none investigator could add any type of data in its clinical trials. The IRB should establish document writing and follow its procedure. First is determining its composition, that means name and qualifications of the members. Second, scheduling, notifying its members of meetings. Third, conducting initials and continuing review of trials. Fourth, specifying that no subject should be admitted to the trials before IRB issues a written approval for trials. And fifth, specifying that no deviations or change in the trials must be done without the written approval of IRB, except when there is immediate hazardous risk for the project. This point specifically means that if there is any type of adverse effect or any type of hazardous risk to the human trial subjects or human patients, basically patients, any type of adverse or bad effect to the patients, then only a person or investigator can change or deviate the clinical trials. And also after that, he have to inform the IRB. Sixth is specifying that investigation should promptly report to the IRB, which includes deviations from or change of the protocol to eliminate immediate hazards to the trial subjects. Change, changes increasing the risks to the subjects and or affecting significantly the trial context of the trial. See all the adverse reactions that are both serious and unexpected. New information that might adversely affect the safety of the subjects or conduct the trial. Now, what are the responsibilities of the IRB? The IRB should obtain the following documents. First one is trial protocols amendments and written informed consent form. Second, subject recruitment procedures, including advertisements. Third, written information to be provided to the subject. Fourth, investigational brochure. Fifth, available safety information about any type of drug that is used in the clinical trials and what effect it will it cause to the human subjects. Sixth, information current curriculum vitae. Seventh, any other may need to fulfill its responsibilities. The IRB should review a proposed clinical trial within reasonable time and then documents its view in writing, clearly identifying the trial, the documents reviewed, and the dates for the following. First, approvable or favorable opinion. Second, modification required prior to its approval or favorable opinion. Third, disapproval or negative opinion. Fourth, termination or suspension of any approval or favorable opinion. Fifth, qualification of the investigator for the proposed trial as a document by current curriculum and or by relevant documentations of the IRB requests. So that's all from me, and these are the references from which I wrote all the data. Thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe.